Emily, how's it going? I'm taking a look at your assignment here. I know we spoke some in class about things, so maybe not all this information is going to be, you know, the most. I know this. I've seen that you've resubmitted, which is fine. But anyways, just taking a look at what's going on here. All right. So I know that you were massaging curves and stuff to get it to look stronger, maybe, and hopefully some of this stuff doesn't feel contradictory. But maybe here, I want to see this leg a little straighter and this leg just have the tiniest hint of a bend in it. I think that that's gonna, like, this leg to me when I look at it feels hyperextended, and this one doesn't feel, oops, extended enough. Just a tiny little pose note. It's not a big deal. But all of these poses look good. Maybe the there seems to be kind of a big jump from here to here versus what, well, maybe not. Yeah, I would just check out the spacing of the up and down of your torso, because here it seems almost like a little frozen in space. And then it does a big jump and then it kind of stops. So try to see if you can go in. There should be, you know, your TY curve on that center of gravity. You know, just check out that the curve is causing like a nice progression in spacing. Like, I feel like maybe it gets a little flat at the top and the bottom or whatever. Just something to pay attention to, but I feel overall it's working. Now there's something here that I think needs more attention. Like, there's something going on where the body parts aren't quite moving in unison in a way that makes sense to me. Maybe that's not the best way to express it, but what I'm seeing is the body starts to sink here while the legs have very little movement or change on the ground. Like there's something about this motion through here that doesn't make the most sense to me. So as this screen, as the red leg goes back, you know, when it's at its extreme thing, this is where the body should be at its lowest, towards its lowest point. You know, here it's still coming down. And here again, like, that back leg feels, I don't know why I have ghosting turned on, I'm sorry about that. That back leg feels a little hyperextended. The front foot, like, if this is the ground plane here, the front foot doesn't feel like it's on the ground at all. So when I talk about the riddle of the triangle formed between the legs and the torso, I feel like that this area needs more attention. You know what I mean? Because now, like, the body's coming straight down and the feet, I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but here, you know, like, your foot's going through the ground, so that needs to have a little bit more attention on it. And then here, if this pose, yeah, so that's where we are at a full cycle. So when I watch it play, you know, I can kind of see, like, there's a bump right there when it goes down. Everything just kind of like pauses or freezes for a few frames, like right around here. You know what I mean? And when you watch it, if you really pay attention to, like, this area, I think that your eye will pick up on that. So I imagine there's something in your TY curve where it looks like, you know, you're heading down, but then it probably gets flat for a little while. Just a couple of frames, you know, and so this flatness is the enemy, because things have to kind of, it should be more, you know, let's see. It should be maybe just a little bit, you know, it's got to keep moving a little bit and lose that flat bit through there. And you can even see the arms kind of pause, maybe because I'm looping one frame. Yeah, but there's still that pause that I feel in there. Like I feel it on the screen red arm when it comes all the way into the back, and I feel it on the blue arm. So you gotta like watch your spacing. Ah, here to here is the same. Maybe that's my fault for not finding the loop point properly. Yeah, that's better. I'm still feeling it a little, but that's better. That feels looser and nicer. Cool. So maybe disregard that stuff. If when you isolate it to one cycle, maybe I was just looping it on the wrong frame. So that might be on me. But just keep an eye on that sort of thing. But there still is something here. You know, all those nodes still apply where it feels like maybe we're too high up in the air with the center of gravity, and maybe if we lower it down a little bit, that's going to let us unroll this foot just a touch and get the tiniest bend in here, and maybe that'll allow this foot to feel maybe a little more planted on. Maybe it is planted on the ground. It's just a trick of perspective. I'm not sure. All right. The other thing I was noticing is you have, like, especially from the front view, the spacing on the arms from the side view seems pretty solid, pretty good, like you're in a good spot. But I'm seeing like this little bump out happening on the arms and the spacing. So now if I turn on ghosting, it bumps out. See how, like here, this is what's happening. It's jumping out to this pose, but it's not, there's no time in the spacing for it to like stop its motion this way and start its motion back that way. So I imagine if we were looking at this from, whoops, a top-down view, this is, man, I keep hitting a button on accident, my apologies. This is the top-down view. I bet if we're watching how the hands arc, is they're going out and then coming back in, kind of like hitting a corner there, where it's not like hitting a nice smooth arc there. I would take a look at that little bit to make sure. Yeah, I think try to clean those things up. Office hours are always available. If you want to take advantage, please just send me an email or something. Oops. But yeah, I would keep splining this up, keep working on the areas that I just called out. And remind me next time, I'll help you, because you can bend, like I see that you're bending the hands here at this joint, but you can also bend the hands at the fingers at this joint, because right now all your fingers are straight. So before we like put this to rest, it would be nice to get just like a little curl going on, something a little bit more, just a little more relaxed, a little natural. Tiny note. Anyways, yeah, just keep going. Keep on the splining efforts. There's a tiny little, I like your foot here. I love like the angle of the foot, how it's kind of pointing out. I love that choice. It's very appealing. But as the foot goes backwards, it seems to kind of pivot on this toe, where I think maybe you can just leave it at that same angle. You know, all the way through this even. It could be angled just a little bit. It might just be like a little, you know, that's like a design appeal thought. It's up to you. Take it or leave it. But it could be a little charming. Like, if the full weight of your character is like on this leg, it's going to be really hard to like swivel the heel around the toe. Anyways, small note. This is great. I can't wait to see it next week, and keep going. And then start thinking about your next assignment. I don't think that, you know, maybe in a week or two, should be ready to move on to a personality walk or some kind of other physical action of a box lift or a push or a pull or a throw or whatever you can think of. Start thinking about where you can gather reference or what you want to do, because maybe in like 2 weeks time we'll be ready to move on from this walk and get on to the next assignment. All right, see you next week. Bye.